Here is what you learn in this video: why physical appearance matters more than you think in dating, the three pillars of fitness, which are sleep, nutrition, and exercise, simple home and gym workouts to get you started, and how to show off your physique through posture, clothes, and hobbies. If you're new to this channel, I am Raghav. I create videos that focus on specific problems men face in their day to day lives with the larger goal of helping them to get their lives together. And today we'll be diving into part two of my Become More Attractive series, which is about getting fit and why. In this day and age, we are told that judging people by their appearance is shallow and choosing a person based on their physical appearance is superficial, but it's far from the truth. It's dishonest and misleading. Relying on our sight as a form to judge people is an evolved skill set which is ingrained in ourselves. Since Stone Age, sight has been the most powerful tool which was used to assess danger, scan for predators, and to hunt for prey. All of this is still applicable to this day for dating decisions as well. But we are being told to ignore this. We've been told to look into people's soul, understand their nature before making a decision. Believing this will only get you a moral high ground, but no luck with women. But if you really believe that looks do not matter, then let me make a case as to why it's important for women and in turn why it's important for you to be in shape. First thing that you need to understand is that women look for hard to fake characteristics in men. And good physical health is one of the most reliable, honest signals of overall genetic fitness because it is very hard to fake. And on top of that, there are a lot of underlying signals that you can offer by having a good physique and which women pick up on subconsciously. And one of the first things is hard work and strong willpower. Any man's ability to work hard, be consistent, and possess strong willpower is the bedrock of a strong character. Then, what better way to showcase this than by having a fit physique, which is the most undisputed way of showing these characteristics? And the consistency and resilience of doing something for a long time is something that women subconsciously look for in their partner because that's exactly what long term relationship needs: someone who's stable and willing to work hard. And the next one is good mental health. A simple quote is enough to suffice this argument, which is that a sound mind in a sound body. Someone with a good physical health will also have a good mental health. There are direct correlations between these two. Generally, people who work out have less challenges with mental health. And the third one is your performance in bed. Your endurance predicts the length of the act, and your cardiovascular health predicts how well your blood flow is. Someone who is super skinny or fat cannot exactly help women indulge in their fantasies. And the next point is your protective capacity. The protective capacity of a man cannot be overlooked. Strong men can defend themselves and their partners, weak men cannot. Even though in this day and age, physical violence is much rarer than before, women have an exceptionally sensitive sense for threats such as stalkers and others. Hence, your ability to protect her is a huge part of a woman's unconscious attraction towards you. Next one is longevity of your life. Being healthy, having good genes, and being able to have healthy kids is important to women. But you want to know what's more important is you being around long enough to stay with her, your kids, and maybe your grandkids. Women think about future whether they want to or not. And if it looks like you're going to have a heart attack within the next half a decade, the odds of any woman finding you attractive is slim to none. And this is the last one, but definitely not the least, which is the aesthetics, right? You cannot ignore the aesthetic value of a fit physique. I'm bringing this up as the last reason because everyone just focuses on this element and thinks that the ROI of spending 14 hours every week in a gym isn't there. They're like, I'll probably work on my social skills, my game, and all of that. Whether you want to accept it or not, all women fawn over a fit physique, which is aesthetically pleasing, right? Your physical fitness has to be the first thing that you should focus on because it has the highest ROI. And also it takes the longest for you to see the result. Hence, let me help you get started on your fitness journey immediately with the next section, which is how to improve your physical health. Before we can start this journey of improving your physical health, we need to set a tangible goal. Because the moment we start talking about physical health, and everyone just assumes that we're talking about a perfect body, like an ambitious six-pack abs, 18-inch biceps, wide back, and all of that jazz. But that's not really what I'm talking about. In other words, what I'm trying to say is you need to be fit, not skinny, not ripped, instead fit. Think of a swimmer's body. That's exactly what you should be aiming for. So if you're skinny, focus on putting some muscle. If you're overweight, then think of cutting down some fat. And now you might be thinking, why not take a more passionate route at building an aesthetically perfect body? If you're not a bodybuilder or a fitness influencer, then this is an extremely counterproductive approach for an average male. Think about the amount of time that you need to spend in the gym and the amount of money that you need to spend on the diet. And let's say after doing all of this, and God knows for how long, you attain a perfect body, but you have no idea how to talk to women. And that's the point of then what's the point of having a great body in achieving your dating goals? The point I'm trying to make here is you cannot be a master of one in order to win the dating game. You need to be a jack of all. You need to evenly spend your time across multiple dimensions in building different skills to attract women. And one of those many such attractive skills is physical health. Your physical health is just one of the many dimensions that you need to focus on to attract women. Within this dimensions, there are three factors that influence your physical health, which are rest, nutrition, and working out. In other words, sleep more, eat right, and exercise. Let me break this down one by one. And the first section of getting your physical health right is sleep. Ask any new parent the hardest part about raising a child, and the answer won't be, kids puking, pooping, or being restless. It's the lack of sleep. Sleep deprivation has to be Sleep deprivation has been used as part of interrogation. That should tell you how important sleep is in our life. And yet we deprive ourselves of sleep all the time with doom scrolling all night or binge watching horrendous shows for no reason. Whether you like it or not, for you to be healthy, you need 7 to 8 hours of good sleep every day. And the key word is good quality. You can't just lay in bed for 8 hours and assume that you had a good quality sleep. I've broken down this process of getting good quality sleep into two halves. There are sleeping quickly and sleeping deeply. Let me walk you through these two processes in the next section. If you're having trouble sleeping, then try these four techniques. First thing would be using yellow lights in the house for about 2 to 3 hours before you sleep. Same thing goes for your phones. Better if you can avoid it completely, but I know that's a challenge. And the next thing is try having chamomile tea. It definitely helps me out a lot. Try having it an hour before you sleep. And journaling. Journaling is one of the things which has definitely helped me out a lot. Try putting your thoughts on a piece of paper. This will help you with your racing thoughts, which will keep you awake once you hit the bed. And the next thing is meditate. This helps in reducing your anxiety. There are a lot of meditation apps which have meditations for sleeping. The one that I personally use is Medito. When combined with journaling, it just makes your life much, much better. Not just for sleep, even in general. That's the routine that I follow every night. I sleep the moment the head hits the pillow. And the next one is sleeping deeply. If you wake up too many times in the middle of the night, then try this out. First one is sleep in a pitch black room. I used to do night shifts, which means that I used to sleep around like 6 a.m. in the morning. Hence, I can personally vouch for blackout curtains, which definitely helps a lot. Lowering the temperature also helps. Try keeping the fan on if you have, or if you have an AC, even that is better. And use heavy blankets in combination to these two. That they definitely will help you in sleeping better and for like a longer period of time. A few general don'ts as part of this routine. Don't rely on alcohol for a good healthy sleep. I know I've made that mistake myself, and I know a lot of my friends rely on alcohol for sleeping. It just doesn't work. Your overall sleep quality is bad, irrespective of the duration of the sleep, and you always wake up feeling tired. Don't have coffee, chocolate, or any caffeine related product after the sun goes down. If you turn this down by about 3 or 4, even better. Don't eat right before you sleep. You're just gonna feel bloated and you will toss and turn around in the bed. Now that we've covered the best practices for sleeping, let's move on to nutrition. So, nutrition, I'll keep nutrition or the principle of eating right simple. I personally follow only three rules of eating right, and that's all you need to follow as well, which are first one is cut out sugar, any and all forms of sugar. That means no fruit juice, no sweets, no donuts, no Pepsi, no Coke, no cold coffee, or none of those cafe style blended coffees, nothing. Just remove any and all forms of sugar from your life. And the second one is no eating outside, which means no Swiggy, no Zomato. This basically takes out any and all processed food and snacks from my diet. In other words, cook your own food. Trust me, it seems like a challenging task, but you will thank me at the end of the month looking at the amount of money that you will save. And the third rule that I personally follow is high protein diet. Eat things which are protein rich. My simple, cost effective ingredient are eggs. There were times I used to have a dozen eggs every day. Just try to add an egg or two in all of your meals. If you can add additional sources of proteins like chicken or any meat, great. But in general, keep an eye out on your protein intake and bump it up as much as you can. I'm keeping this as simple as possible because you reap the benefits of eating right isn't from following a complex dietary regime. Instead, it is by being consistent for as long as you can. And this simple three rule diet makes it easy for me to cut out unnecessary and low quality calories out of my diet. Now that we've covered sleep and nutrition, let's move on to the last pillar of your physical health, which is working out. Let me state a disclaimer here. This is not a fitness challenge, and this content will not help you in building six pack abs, doing handstands, human flags, or setting your personal record in lifting. This is just to get you moving. Again, same as before, I'm going to keep this simple because you don't need an overcomplicated training plan. You need a plan that you can stick to consistently for a long period of time. So I've divided the workout into two parts. All of them are meant for beginners, but one is cheaper, the other one is expensive. So let's start with the first one, which is the cheap one, which is a home workout for someone who can't even afford a gym subscription or someone who has never been to a gym and finds a gym to be intimidating. And the expensive one is for someone who can afford a gym subscription. So the beginner home workout, it's simple. 8 squat and push-ups. You don't need any equipment or a lot of space and you can do whenever you can. But this workout will help you lose fat and put on muscles in all the right places. And this is how the workout goes. Do 20 air squats and then immediately do 10 push-ups. Take 30 seconds rest and do this for 5 sets. Should take about 20 minutes. If you cannot do 5 sets, start with 2 sets and then slowly bump up the number of sets. That is it. Simple. And now on to the expensive workout, which is gym workout for beginners. Once you're done with the inexpensive home workout for a couple of weeks, go join a gym. And don't join any random gym. Instead, join a CrossFit gym, which offers group classes. So, why CrossFit, you might ask? So, first thing is you will do whole body exercises, and there will be a certified trainer to oversee your workouts, and there are group classes. Hence, there will be a wide range of people out there who will be equally out of shape, which will provide you a lot of encouragement to keep going. And the reason you're trying to get fit is to meet women, and CrossFit classes are a great place to meet women. So you can hit two birds with one stone. A lot of these CrossFit group classes have other social activities such as hiking, cycling, and others that you can leverage to build rapport with potential attractive partners. So now, once you've optimized your sleep routine, your nutrition, and you've started exercising, your physical health will get better. And you will have more energy. Your body will look fitter. And now you need to learn how to show it off because an attractive trait is useless unless the people that you're trying to attract can see it. So let's discuss how to leverage this to attract women. There are three fundamental ways to display your physical health. And the first one is your posture and your body language. When you develop some muscles, your posture automatically gets better. You will stand taller, sit straighter, but now focus on enhancing it a little further by consciously keeping your handshakes firm, taking up more space as you sit in a chair in a party or in any social events. And the next one is clothing. The fundamental issue here is that 99% of the men wear clothes that are a little too baggy or loose. So the first thing is whatever your style is, stop wearing things that don't fit. When I mean fit, it should fit closely at your waist, your shoulders, and the arms. When it comes to buying new clothes, always size down. Try it out before buying it. Let women see that you don't have a fat gut or flabby arms. On to the next one, which is showing off your fitness through skills and activities. This has to be the best way of showcasing your physical health, which is either through skills or activities. Let's say you do rock climbing, which is a skill that you're trying to build. You can share stories of such physically challenging tasks like being on a rock climbing trip when you talk to women. And, or you can actually take them on a rock climbing session as a dating activity. Nothing attracts women to men more than when you're teaching them something, as long as you're not being an asshole about it. It just doesn't have to be rock climbing, right? Maybe get into badminton, combat sports, surfing, but make sure that you're doing something that you enjoy. Because if you're doing something that you find miserable and it shows, and women can see that. So experiment with a bunch of things and pick what you like the most and try to integrate that as part of your dating process. So that's it for this one. In summary, sleep longer, eat better, work out harder, wear clothes that fit, engage in physically strenuous, adventurous, and yet fun activities. Look for the next part of this video where I talk about improving your mental health. If you find any value in this video, consider liking it. Definitely helps a ton. And if you like this type of content, consider subscribing it. It helps even more. I'll see you guys in the next video then.